when Chris were with the actors and they improvised, it was kind of a dance between them three. So he became another actor when they improvised, because he didn't know what they're gonna do. But after a while, he got to know them, and sometimes he told me, "Sometimes I know she's gonna go this way. She doesn't know yet, but I know already that she's gonna move this way." It was really interesting to see from the outside for all of us in the crew. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Michael Stütz and I'm the head of the Panorama section of the Berlin International Film Festival. Today I'm very honored to have the German director Anne Zohra Berrached with me to talk about her new film Copilot. And Anne Zohra Berrached had already 2 films in Berlin prior to this one. 2013 she showed Two Mothers in the Perspektive Deutsches Kino, and 24 weeks later played in Competition. Anne Zohra Berrached, welcome. It's an honor to have you here, to have you in the program with your new film, Copilot. And let's dive right into the questions. First question, maybe you can briefly just introduce your film in a few sentences.
Mm-hmm. My film, Copilot, takes place in the 90s. It's a very simple story. A girl meets a boy, Asli. She's half Turkish. She meets Saeed, he's from Lebanon. They fall in love. For her, it was her first big love. And for us, he changed the world in the most awful way you can imagine.
Go fetch it.
What's that?
Go fetch it. Hello, hello.
Persian?
Yeah, it's like a horse.
Go Persian!
Go, go! Fetch it. Go.
Go Persian! One, two, three.
Talking about writing the script, I mean, the film and the script, it's very multi-layered. The characters are very complex. The whole situation, the individual part, and the whole sort of collective trauma that you just hinted at. I mean, it's a very, very complex and very nuanced film and script. And I was interested how much work and research went into that before you actually started writing. Or was it something that came on the go? I don't know how you work, but it would be very interesting to hear.
Both, I think. We did a huge research. My scriptwriter and me, we really went into, I always knew I wanted to do a film about love, and how love affects us, how we deal with love if or if your partner is becoming a stranger or is developing in another direction. This was always clear. So I started to research for real people and real cases. And it turned out that I found a really interesting article. It's called Love of the Terrorist of Oliver Schroll. And from there on, I started to really went into other cases of wives and their perpetrator boyfriends or husbands, wives of their killers, and we really went into the psychology of those people and then put it all to the side, all the research, and created our own story. And it was. I remember that that there was time in which we thought, okay, we know everything, and now we need to do it our own. We need to make it our own.
Which also brings me to the character of Asli, as you just mentioned. She falls in love with Saeed. She's a young student when we first see her, and kind of freshly get out of her conservative sort of Turkish home. And you put the spectator really into her perspective. We see everything from her perspective, the whole story, and Saeed and how the relationship starts out there. And for me, this was really, even though sometimes as a spectator, you not always agree with her choices or her doubts, you're always with her because, you know, in the sense that you wrote it and directed it and obviously acted it, you know, it feels so real and so understandable in a sense. So all those conflicts really, they come so extremely well across the screen. And I was just wondering.
This was the difficult part So I thank you that this works on you as a spectator, because you were the first spectator, actually, the first tour of the film. And this was the difficult part to on the one hand, to have a character which is inactive, and in script dramaturgy, you don't have an inactive main character. You don't do that. So it was difficult, and to also rewrite the script in the editing room and to really look what is too much for the viewer, like when is she repeating herself, because I wanted to have a main character who is repeating herself, who doesn't say out loud things, because she didn't learn it in another way. You know her mother, you get to know her mother too. And on the other hand, I wanted a main character, because in all my films it's so important that the main character is really leading you through the whole film, and you really feel empathy with a character which you maybe, it was the same in 24 Weeks, you maybe disagree with what she does, with all her decisions, but you are with her, and this is what makes it sometimes difficult to create, but I hope it worked.
When was the last time you saw Saeed?
Answer.
I don't know, 9 weeks ago, I think.
9 weeks؟ لا ما فيش شيء انفورميشن اطلع فيها. انا هاي البنت من وين نعرفها انها مرته؟ انا ما بعمري شايفتها. يا الله بلشت بارانويا هلا. ايه انا ما بعمري شايفها.
وينه ما قال لها I got it 2 weeks after he left.
سعيد؟ شو هالمكتوب؟ مع مكتوب. روقوا جماعة روقوا. It's not his handwriting.
Please, Asli, translate this for us. Please.
Also, maybe we can talk a little bit about the collaboration with your director of photography. To me, it was very, very clear, and it was very striking, the camera work of the film and the visualization, of certain emotions. For instance, when they meet and they fall in love, and this sort of, head over heels kind of topsy-turvy feeling that you have when you experience such a rush, and falling for someone in a sense. And when they go swimming together, for instance, this is also a crucial moment, I think, in their relationship in a sense. The way the camera frames it, and the dynamics of it, it really sort of reflects on these emotions, So I wanted to hear how you worked together with your DOP and how you envisioned everything.
I think it's the first time that I cared about the look of my pictures. I never have done this before, and it was my goal for that film. I thought it's a new step for me to really care about what is happening. How does the film look? How will the look like? So I met Christopher Haroun, and it was clear we worked together. It was also very clear that we need to create circumstances for the actors to improvise, to get that real acting what we see now. So this was first. This was clear. And on the other hand, we wanted to create a cinema film. We wanted to have cinema pictures, big emotions, and we wanted to have that young feeling at the beginning of the film, what you just mentioned. We really wanted to feel it in the camera, also in the look of the picture. So my production designer was very much involved in our team of creating the pictures. And we start with these really pastel light colors. We didn't want to have much patterns and much confusions in the pictures. And then more and more, the conflict becomes bigger between the couple. We have more colors, darker colors, more light, more artificial moments. And this real camera, this handheld camera, we break in certain moments with kind of like dreamy pictures with her thoughts. So in this moment, you are in her thought and in her dreams, actually. And this all together created the look of the film. It was kind of when Chris were with the actors and they improvised, it was kind of a dance between them three. So he became another actor when when they improvise, because he didn't know what they're going to do. But after a while, he got to know them. And sometimes he told me, sometimes I know she's going to go this way. She doesn't know yet, but I know already that she's going to move this way. It was really interesting to see from the outside for all of us in the crew. Yeah.
Ich hab das für dich.
Was soll das für eine Scheiße, ha? Warum hast du mich alleine gelassen? Ha?
Schatz, komm hier.
Was war so wichtig? Warum hast du mich alleine gelassen? Was hast du gemacht? Was hast du gemacht?
Es ist vorbei.
Was ist vorbei?
Ist doch egal, ich bin hier.
Warst du im Krieg? Hast du jemanden verletzt? Lass mich!
Asli, hör mir zu. Asli! Asli, hör mir zu. Hör mir zu. Es ist vorbei. Ich will nichts mehr von Hamburg.
Maybe you can talk a little bit more about the editing process. How much material did you have, and how much ended up in the film, like tons? How long did you shoot, actually?
Oh, we shot more than 5 months in 3 continents in the world. So it was a tough process of shooting. And I mean, the script, the screenplay, for me, it's only a first idea. It's not, I don't take it too serious. It's as soon as the actors get involved, I'm interested in, I'm kind of rewriting my script with the actors. And it's the same in the editing room. We rewrite the script while we shoot, and we rewrite the script when we edit the film. The editor, Dennis Darahan, I worked with him on all my projects. So he knows the way of how I shoot. It's a very difficult material to shoot because it's improvisation, and very often the actors don't do the same, repeat the same thing again, which you need in the editing room to have 2 perspectives. It's not like this, so he really needs to make it work. And for us, you don't really feel it at the end. You just feel this realness in her, in the acting of the actors, but not how we have shot it. And we shot it wild, so it's difficult. And it took us a while, and also not only to put it all together, also to get rid of it. You know, there was a lot of scenes which we didn't really need, and I was suffering, you know, because I needed to cut it out. It was difficult. And also the sense of the film, or the actual theme of the film, I really found it in the whole process, not in the script. It was a process until the very end, until the last editing day.
Yeah, it's very interesting to hear what kind of happens during production and then in the editing room, because everybody works so different. Talking about the production, I mean, as you already said, you shot for 5 months, you rehearsed for a long time. It's a co-production between 3 countries, obviously the biggest project you've ever helmed. Maybe you can talk a little bit about sort of the whole arc of the production, you know, because it's such a big production.
It was a big production, and it was really easy to finance the film, for example. I never had that before. It was always difficult because the topics I talk about in all my films are hidden topics, are taboo themes. And for me, the film is talking about a taboo theme too. But everybody was really interested in the topic, in what I want to do next, and in the production company, Razor Film. So it was easy to get all the money together. I mean, it wasn't easy in the way of how it was very tiring for us, and we didn't expect that. It was a huge script, and it was very tiring for all of us to really travel through the whole world. And we also rehearsed in Beirut. We rehearsed in Miami. So I could, but it was possible to do the film how I wanted to do it, and this is it's a luxury.
Yeah,
I liked it. On the other hand, I know I want to do small films again. There's not, if there are not so many people involved, it can be interesting too, because you're kind of more free. It's really interesting to see that. You would think that it makes you more free to have more money, but there are more people talking to you, and it's very important that the film is becoming a good film and big film. And this is influencing you somehow, always, even though you think it doesn't influence you, but it does.
Yeah,
you know?
So there's a bit more pressure then, obviously. But so we will see in the future also smaller projects and sort of a mix of everything, probably, hopefully, from one range to the next, which also kind of includes my little questionnaire here. So are there any new projects already lined up for the future?
There is. I don't talk about it so much yet, but I can say I have done those films which have this real or reality approach. I think I want to dream, and in that film you see a few scenes which going to a surreal direction, and the next project I do going to be very surreal. The whole film going to be a very surreal moment. So I don't know where this is leading me to. So it's only an idea right now. It's a 4 pages thing. But I know I have done the acting reality stuff, and I want to try something new. Yeah, want to have a new challenge.
Okay, that sounds great. Something definitely to look forward to. But first, we will share your new film, Copilot, here in the summer, hopefully with as many people as possible. And first here on the market, Anne Zohra Berrached, thank you so much for taking the time talking to me. And again, it's such a pleasure to have you and your film in the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.